Oh, hello, Thomas. Long time no see. Pinchy has missed you very much.
Oh, hey, Diesel 10.
What's this? You're not scared? Terrified? Trembling on your tracks?
Nope. You haven't been intimidating for years, Diesel 10.
Oh. Not even a little bit?
No, not really.
Oh.
I mean, over the years, you kind of went from being a homicidal maniac to stealing Christmas decorations. You kind of lost your touch.
Well, well, this is awkward. I think I'll just go. Goodbye, you silly steamy.
Hello everybody, it's HiroTheJapaneseTrain here, back at it again with another installment of Wooden Road and Rail Reviews. And today we have a character who is one of my personal favorites out of all the characters in Thomas the Tank Engine, and also probably the best villain Thomas has ever seen. It is Diesel 10, and as you can see here, I have numerous versions of him, and we're going to take a look at all three of them. Without further ado, let's get to the review. Diesel 10 was first introduced in the year 2000 in the Thomas and Friends movie, Thomas and the Magic Railroad, where he played, originally he was supposed to be a secondary villain to P.T. Boomer, but when the script was rewritten and reworked, he became the primary villain. And he is one of those villains in kids shows and stuff like that that go down as one of the most notable, especially because he was just a big, frightening Class 42 warship with a claw. I mean, it's pretty iconic, and it scared some kids, not me, but it scared many a kid when the movie first came out in the year 2000. And in the Wooden Railway, he was introduced by Learning Curve in the same year, and I have here the old-style version of Diesel 10, which featured such things as his claw, or Pinchy as it was so dubbed. And as you can see, it goes forward and back, and which is unlike the Brio Diesel 10 in the shed there. But the downside to this was many kids wanted to pull it up so they could, so it could have more movement. And I'll show you with my childhood Diesel 10 exactly how that turned out. Many Diesel 10 models ended up losing their claws because kids didn't really like the fact that it wasn't as mobile as it could have been. However, they didn't change the design on later Diesel 10 models, and many a Diesel 10 model I've seen out there does not have a claw because it's been broken off like mine. However, it's still a really good model in my opinion. The face, let me take a look at that face. Now that is a face for the ages in the Thomas Wooden Railway. Diesel 10's face, his old style face that is, was very menacing. Very, very menacing. And it's probably one of my favorite features on any Diesel 10 merchandise, be it anything from this Wooden Railway one to the Take-Along Diesel 10 to the Erdl, Bondi. They all got the face right the first time, at least. And for that, Diesel 10 is probably one of my favorite Wooden Railway models, just for the face alone. He's also one of my favorite characters, so I have a bit of a bias. And one thing that you'll notice on this Diesel 10 is the stripes both head backwards. But on the actual Diesel 10, they don't. One pair of stripes goes one way, and on his right side, they go the other way, which was corrected with this version of Diesel 10 here, the new style. However, there's one version before this, which is a 2011 Diesel 10 released by Learning Curve. However, I don't own it, but I will show a picture here. And it's pretty much the same as this one. It's slightly darker, the face is different, and the claw is a different color. That's just about it. On this new Diesel 10, however, this is the Mattel one, they fixed the stripe problem, and they kept pretty much most of the detail. However, they didn't maintain the black windows on the back, and they gave him a different face to resemble the CGI Diesel 10's face. And I mean, I guess this is no fault on their hand, but rather the animators, because the this just isn't scary. And the fact that he's smiling is also a downside, but the CGI Diesel 10 face just really looks more like a Botox knockoff version of the previous face. And for that, I mean, I can't really give Mattel too much smack for it, but the animators really, in trying to replicate Diesel 10, they kind of gave us a watered down version of him. And, I mean, other than that, this model of Diesel 10 isn't that bad. It's probably a little too yellow, but frankly, I mean, in the CGI series, he's a bit like this too, so I'm not going to give Mattel too much smack for it. One thing that did change on the Diesel 10, slightly with the shape, is on the back there, and in the front, but you'll notice that on the back here, the two, I guess you can call these end pieces to Diesel 10, are different. This one's a bit longer, and it's a bit more round, and this one is a bit shorter. This one is actually more accurate to a Class 42 warship. And for this one, I think they just did this because they had released Bowler, and they didn't really... they either didn't see the difference or decided to save money, which I get, and they kept it like this. However, this is more accurate to a warship class. And for that, you know, I actually really love this model. The downside is the face. If they had changed the face so it was this menacing, awesome, badass villain face, and if they put it on the new Diesel 10, I would have been a lot happier. However, because it's kind of a new era, I don't really put too much smack on Mattel for it, or the animators. I feel like a part of Diesel 10 was lost when he was brought back in Day of the Diesels. Just, he's not as menacing. But, I digress. And lastly, I will show you the Brio Diesel 10. The Brio Diesel 10 is certainly a strange one, and he's kind of the odd one out when it comes to wooden railway Diesel 10s. He too was released in 2000 along with the old style Diesel 10, but Brio took a radically different approach to him, as you can see here with the way that he's shaped. And I don't know if I like this one, to be honest. I know that they were going for a new angle, trying to give him an articulated claw and everything like that, but I think they failed. The one thing I will give them credit though for is the face. I think out of all of these Diesel 10 models I've shown you, this one has the best face. I mean, just take a look at this. Now that is a menacing face right there. That is a face that you will see in your nightmares. And it also captures Diesel 10's character perfectly, especially for how menacing he was in Thomas and the Magic Railroad. But what I really want to talk about is the body. I think when you talk about the Brio Diesel 10, you have to talk about the Brio Daisy. Because as you can see with these two models, I'll show you, their models are almost exactly the same in their basic shape. And I think Brio, sorry there, I almost said Mattel again. I think Brio wanted to save money and use a pre-existing model to make their Diesel 10, which I can understand. However, I don't think that they delivered. Because while the face on this Brio Diesel 10 looks spectacular, I don't think the rest of the model really lives up to it. Lives up to Diesel 10 as a character. I'll show you something here with his articulated claw, which does extend, actually. Wonderful feature on that. But after it's been extended, he just looks like a crane. He just looks like a mobile railway crane about to pick up some cargo. Actually, there you go. He's just a cargo crane at the end of the day. Which, I mean, Diesel 10 makes for a good crane engine in Brio, but for a menacing diesel engine with a claw, it's here to end steam once and for all. I don't really see that. However, I guess you make a good... I mean, if you're a wooden railway filmmaker, I guess you'd be good for the background shots, but I don't know. I don't know about this one. It's all real strange to me. And, I mean, there's something about the weirdness and strange aspects to this Diesel 10 toy that really attract me to it in a way. That's kind of why I bought it a few years ago. But at the end of the day, I think personally, the best Diesel 10 is the oldest. You can't really go wrong. It's classic, it's got flair, it's got that face, and I mean, even though they had some inconsistencies with the striping and all that, I think it's the best representation of Diesel 10 that you'll find out there. Now, some people might argue and say that the Mattel one is the best, but I tell them to look no further than the face. And the fact that, well, as on here, they had some of the details on the roof and stuff like that, they don't here. I mean, they're 3D, but they're not painted or anything. So, there are some drawbacks to both models. But at the end of the day, I think that this one right here is the best Diesel 10 model you're gonna find. If you want something strange and unique, go for the Brio. But if you want something classic and something that just screams Diesel 10, I think you should get this one. Because personally, I mean also, he's just nostalgic. He ruled our childhoods. Every kid wanted a Diesel 10 train. And as I said, he's one of my personal favorite characters. And I think if you want something classic, go for the old style Diesel 10. If you want something more contemporary and something a bit more new, go with the Mattel one. And there's also a talking railway, or a talking Diesel 10, not a talking railway one, but there is a talking Diesel 10 too, which you can buy. Personally, I think it's a little weird, but you know, to each their own. If you want to get that, you can get that too. But overall, I think I will rate all three of them. I'm going to go ahead and go from oldest to newest. So this Diesel 10, the only drawback is the claw, I think. I think they could have done something like this, but not so it looks like he's a crane. I think they could have made this a little bit more articulated, but I digress. I'm going to go ahead and give him an 8 out of 10 for that. The Brio Diesel 10, he's definitely unique. I'll give him points for being unique. But overall, I think I'm going to give him a 5. Just because he doesn't replicate Diesel 10 in much at all. He looks like mustard colored Daisy with a sex change and a claw. That's just about it. Oh, and also they didn't get the stripes right either, but you know, I didn't give the learning curve one crap for that. I'm not gonna give this one any smack for it. So yeah, 5 out of 10 on that one. And for this Diesel 10, just the fact that it doesn't really pique my interest. It's a good model, but something seems off about it, especially the face. But I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. But overall, Diesel 10's a fantastic character, and he's certainly changed over the years. So I think it's certainly nice that they've brought him back. I know there was talk around Misty Island Rescue Time about Diesel 10 coming back, and I'm glad that they did bring him back in the end. And as I said, one of my favorite characters. And let me know what you guys thought about Diesel 10 in the comments section below. And be on the lookout for more reviews in the future. And with that, this is Hiro the Japanese Train with Wooden Railway Diesel 10 through the years, signing off. Thanks for watching, guys. Diesel 10 was first introduced in... Okay then.